So, as bad as everyone feels, and they have felt since November 8th, I know for me, I've been in a severe depression, although I'd like to say, today after your show, I'm going to get a Bob Mueller tattoo.
Oh, that's exciting.
And that he notoriously cheats private contractors out of their money.
Yes, and that is all
Simple
pretty well
facts.
documented. Yeah.
Simple facts.
And so you said this on The View.
And he went bat crazy.
Yeah.
Months later, they started the Watergate hearings. And I remember as a child feeling, wow, there's no safety in my house. And look, there's no safety in the world. And all of that came right up.
What if we told you Donald Trump threatened to revoke Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship over a critique? Sounds absurd, right? But there's more to this political soap opera. Trump's hilarious blunder, a crazy uncle nickname, and Rosie's brutal honesty. Stick around and find out why their decades-long feud just got weirder. Before we continue, if you appreciate this content, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It's free and it helps our channel grow. Thank you. Now back to the video. Did Trump really claim immigrants are eating pets? Oh yes, he did. And Rosie had the perfect reaction. The scene was the 2024 presidential debate at the National Constitution Center, where Trump pulled one of his strangest cards yet, accusing immigrants of eating dogs and cats in record numbers. It wasn't just bizarre, it was downright surreal, especially for a room full of people expecting at least a slightly coherent argument. Instead, Trump turned a serious topic into what felt like a rejected plotline from an unhinged reality show. The statement instantly sent shockwaves across social media. Chrissy Teigen, never one to shy away from roasting the absurd, tweeted, "Did I just hear that right? We're debating pet eating conspiracies now. What planet are we on?" But the wildness didn't end there. Trump, famous for doubling down, insisted he had intel to prove his case. Nothing says credibility quite like his running mate JD Vance jumping in to amplify the chaos, reposting memes about pet theft caravans on Twitter, or X, or whatever we're calling it this week. Enter Rosie O'Donnell, watching the whole clown show unfold in real time. She wasted no time delivering the perfect takedown, tweeting, "Your crazy demented uncle is loose again," paired with a zoomed-in screenshot of Trump mid-rant, veins popping as he yelled into the mic.
Donald Trump has been mad at you for a very long time.
Over a decade, Seth.
Over a decade.
Yes. And she's the prostitute. And who is he? He's the moral arbiter of 20-year-old behavior now, right? So then I said, some facts that I just went on Wiki, and that he notoriously cheats private contractors out of their money.
Yes, and that is all
Simple
pretty well
facts.
documented. Yeah.
Simple facts.
And so you said this on The View.
And he went bat crazy.
Yeah.
The day after the election. Do you think it's going to be okay for me to be there? Or what if he wins? She's like, Rosie.
If there's anyone who knows how to nail the tone for moments like this, it's Rosie. While Trump was spiraling into conspiracy land, she hit him with biting humor and a reality check. And it wasn't just her tweets. Rosie, in peak form, called out his ridiculous spray tan, streakier than ever by the way, and mocked his swollen ankles, saying he looked like a man who's been living in his own twisted comic book. It was the kind of wit viewers craved, a sharp contrast to Trump's chaotic performance. Suddenly, Rosie wasn't just a critic, she was the voice of everyone thinking, is this real life? This exchange became a prime example of political theater.
And he said, just want you to know, I've forgiven her. And this young woman, I'm like, what is he, the pimp? There was a Tara O'Connor, I believe her name was, a young Irish lass who was Junior Miss Trump Atlantic City pageant sexist winner. So, as bad as everyone feels, and they have felt since November 8th, I know for me, I've been in a severe depression, although I'd like to say, today after your show, I'm going to get a Bob Mueller tattoo.
Oh, that's exciting.
You really have to start working on your negative loop in your brain. He is not going to win. Every smart person knows he is not going to win.
Trump's chaos matched against Rosie's no-nonsense commentary, and somehow her humor sliced through the madness, giving people a moment of clarity amidst all the nonsense. And for these two, it's just the latest chapter in their wild, decades-long feud. Trump once threatened to revoke Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. Yes, seriously, that's not just stretching the law, that's breaking it over his knee. But then again, when has legality ever stopped Trump from making wild wild claims. The feud between these two firebrands started way back in 2006 when Rosie called him a con man on The View. She didn't mince words, pointing out his string of bankruptcies, his reliance on his father's fortune, and his questionable ethics. Trump, being Trump, fired back immediately, calling her a woman out of control and a loser. That one little exchange was all it took for this feud to spiral into absolute madness. Over the years, their insults kept escalating. Where Rosie was sharp and direct, hitting Trump with her truth bombs, he cranked up the over-the-top theatrics, one of his wildest moments, threatening to strip her of citizenship, even though Rosie is a natural-born US citizen. As political commentator Anna Navarro hilariously pointed out at the time, this isn't North Korea. But for Trump, threatening Rosie wasn't just about scoring points, it was about dragging the feud into a full-blown political spotlight.
It's been really, we've sort of made the joke on the show that he's flip-flopped on everything except you.
It's actually very true. I have put in that request by tweet.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting to hear, but nothing really will. I have to say, the 55-year-old woman who lived through Vietnam, when I was in 1973, my mom died, and
if Trump gets indicted, it would be really great if Mueller let you serve the papers. I feel like
when he, first of all, when he announced, I was like laughing my ass off.
Same here.
He was on that little escalator down with the fake crowd going, look, here's my wife who loves me. And she's like, how do I get out of here? Right? And
Rosie, of course, didn't back down. She kept calling him out on his business failures, his weirdly fragile ego, and later, his presidency. In the years after he entered politics, she hit even harder. She accused him of harnessing cruelty as a political tool and said his presidency looked less like leadership and more like someone living in a comic book. And let's not forget her vocal support for Kamala Harris, a contrast that drove Trump absolutely nuts during the 2020 election. Trump's comebacks, meanwhile, felt more like schoolyard taunts. Loser and fat pig were his go-to insults, but Rosie's biting humor always eclipsed his. Over time, her resilience turned her into a symbol of resistance. A reminder that speaking out, even loudly and unapologetically, can cut through chaos. What started as a random celebrity spat grew into an iconic commentary on modern politics.
And did it sort of start? It started from The View, yes?
The View.
Yeah.
That were easily accessible since this campaign began, that he is bankrupt 4 times, that he got all his money from his father. Months later, they started the Watergate hearings. And I remember as a child feeling, wow, there's no safety in my house, and look, there's no safety in the world. And all of that came right up. I just thought it would never happen.
Same here.
So
I've been wrong at every turn.
I said to my therapist, I got this new show, SMILF, but I have to go to Boston to start shooting. That night, I was like, listen, you wench.
In a world where political debates seem ripped straight from a comic book, Rosie O'Donnell's blunt honesty feels like the superhero we didn't know we needed. While Trump throws out wild conspiracies and builds his self-made image brick by shaky brick, Rosie dismantles it with brutal precision. Her critiques don't just call him out, they expose the cracks in his carefully crafted persona, from his business failures to his spray tan mishaps. But what makes Rosie's voice so powerful is how she cuts through the chaos with wit and truth. So, what's your take? Drop a comment and let's talk.